hate it here. I hate it here. I literally hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it here. Hello? Hi guys, welcome back to another video of mine. I am going to be making a video based off of what to expect while working at Starbucks. So I basically mentioned in that video that I did for Starbucks, my experience, why I quit and all of that. Oh, my nose is itchy. Oh my God. I was gonna make a video based on my own experiences and what you should expect if you're hired or you're currently working there or you just started, on some of the things that you should kind of, I guess, mentally prepare yourself for. And I got a lot of likes on that video, so I'm assuming that y'all really wanted this video, so I'm gonna just, go and make it. Before I get started with the topic of the video, I just wanted to say, I got my nose pierced. I feel like a different person. Like, who is she? I will definitely possibly make a video based off of like my nose piercing, my experience and all of that. I got it pierced about a week and a half ago, so it's still healing, and it's just been kind of, like, for example, I literally feel like I have a bunch of shit in my nose, and I can't get it, because this is healing, and it's literally impossible to get the boogers in my nose, or this nostril. And I know that was very TMI, but I'm just being really honest with you. It's just very stressful to try to get boogers out, and it's so fucking uncomfortable. But yes, I can definitely make a video just based off of like my nose piercing experience and like all of the tips and tricks that I have picked up while I'm dealing with this little shit. But you know, until she's fully healed, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. But I really, really like it. So let me know if you guys like my nose piercing. I think she looks cute. I'm starving, and I also am low-key emotionally very much distressed, but it's okay because I feel like I'm handling my emotions pretty well lately, but I could just be assuming that I am, because I always think I'm fine, but I'm really not. So everything has been good with me. Yeah, I'm going to Greece next month, so that's gonna be cool. Yeah, I'm going to Greece next month, next month, and I'm definitely going to record and show you guys what the fuck is going on with that. And I think that's something that you guys would really I don't know. And yeah, just I have content coming from you guys. Can we just talk about the fact that I'm literally so close to 1,000 subscribers? Like, holy fucking shit, bitch. Like, shit. Okay. But anyhow, yes, I'm literally so close to getting 1,000 subscribers. That has been my goal for fucking years, and I have just never really pushed and pulled myself to go to, you know what I mean? So whoever's watching this video, make sure you tell your mom, you tell your pops, you tell your friend of your friend, you tell your dog of a dog to another dog that knows another dog to subscribe, because I would literally give you the love and affection that you've been craving for years. So just wanted to let you know. Basically, I worked at Starbucks for 3 years. If you guys want to have a link to the video of where I explain my experience and why I quit, it's gonna be in the description box below. But basically, I talk about kind of just the things that made me kind of want to rage quit. And I will also be putting in bonus footage that I just didn't put in that video. I have it in my phone. I just didn't feel like putting it in the other video, but since I have it, I'm just like, why won't I use it? It's pretty hilarious footage, actually. Just me having a mental breakdown. Nothing special. But yeah, so I went through some shit while working at Starbucks, and I'm not gonna say it's a horrible company because that would actually be bullshit on my part. I don't think it's completely horrible. I just believe that the way that in my store things were handled was absolutely ass. Before I even go into anything, I didn't write anything down. So if everything that I'm saying is extremely sporadic and all over the place, I'm sorry and I apologize in advance. You should probably get a notebook. So right off the bat, personally for me, you kind of in the interviewing process, you get to have a free drink while you're kind of getting interviewed, or basically when you first get your paperwork done or whatever it is, you get a free drink, which was really cool. And I love that they did that, like queen. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And then when you first get hired, you get your little apron, you get like a little bit, like a little goodie bag, and they have like things in there for you. So I thought that was really cute. You get trained for 2 weeks. And for me, I just would like to say that those 2 weeks were probably the worst 2 weeks of my life, but that could differentiate for a lot of people depending on who's your trainer and where you work at. So for me, like I don't like bashing people, but I'm just gonna be completely honest. My trainer was a little bit too intense with me, and she could have definitely handled things a lot better when it came to explaining things and just how she tried to teach me. So it's just a lot of high, fast-paced movements, and you're gonna be constantly yelled at for little things. I'm sorry, this is very negative. I started my training. It was just absolutely bonkers. And what I mean by bonkers, one second, sorry, someone's calling me. Sorry about that, my mom called me. But what I was trying to say is that when I first got hired, everything was just a lot for me to take in. It was very overwhelming. My store was a very high volume store, and we also had a drive-through. So it was just a lot of like moving back and forth, customers being kind of nasty. I mean, I know it sounds like a war zone, but that's just how I felt, especially not knowing what I was doing. It just kind of felt like 2 weeks wasn't enough, and that's just my opinion on it. You guys, it depends on the person, but for a standard person that has no coffee experience and just doesn't really know what they're doing, it's really, really rough. Try to have thick skin going into it. It's fun. The job is fun once you know it, but when you're just kind of there seeing everything happening and you're not even sure of what to do, it's just really overwhelming. Customers just kind of don't have the patience to deal with people, especially if you're new. So there was a lot of times that I remembered customers were just kind of being nasty to me, and I had to kind of explain that I was still in the training period, but they just didn't care. They still made me feel like a piece of shit. But that's besides the point. So during that time, you spend on the floor looking on how to make everything. For me, it was just very hard just knowing the terms, knowing how to steam milk and what goes what, and just the recipes. Everything was just a lot. It was a lot. The computer portion was fine. It kind of correlated to what you were doing in person, but it's, for me, I'm a hands-on learner as well as a visual learner. So I would first have to see how somebody does it and try to replicate it, and that's like the best way for me to learn. And it differs between a lot of different people. I thankfully was able to get to the point where I, at one point in my Starbucks career, could be training people. And I just remembered that the concept of how I wanted to train people was completely different than how I was trained. And I never wanted to make anybody feel less of themselves just because they didn't know what was in front of them, or they were confused by, you know, the subtle things, or if they just couldn't pick up on certain things faster than other people. I just tried really hard to make it a point that I didn't want anybody to feel the way that I felt. So just expect that when you're training for 2 weeks. Don't expect yourself to just know what you're doing. For me, it took like almost 3 to 4 months to just generally get a good feel of how to make things work. And then I would say 6 to 7 months is when I actually got the hang of things and I was able to keep up with everything around me. Um, it's a very high, fast-paced job, so you need to be able to be quick on your toes, and you also need to be able to be a people pleaser. And I know that kind of sounds passive-aggressive just depending on the way that you look at it, but especially working at Starbucks, they're very, very people pleaser. I just remembered that even if the customer was in the wrong, and even if they did something super, super, super dick move, or they were such an asshole to you that you couldn't believe it, you literally had to people please so much, because that was just how Starbucks worked. It wasn't like you were able to stick up for yourself a lot. And that's another thing that I kind of didn't like that much. It was just customers got away with a lot, and it almost got ridiculous at one point because there was just certain things that were not acceptable and we allowed it to happen. But it was just literally, you just need to have this people pleaser concept. And I'm only saying this like for y'all going into working at Starbucks. Like, I just want y'all to know that you need to be a people pleaser. You need to kind of go above and beyond, even when you're not getting much reciprocation for it. It's just, oh my god, all of this sounds so negative. But this is more on the positive side. You will literally make so many friends. And what I mean by so many friends is you'll make a lot of coworker friends. It's just definitely a job that I found myself getting along with people a lot more than my other job, because a lot of people that I worked with were my age. We got along, had the same topics on things, and like I said, it honestly just depends on where you work and where's your store. But Starbucks is an amazing place to not only gain connections with people, but to get better at your social skills and to just kind of figure yourself out. It was an amazing stepping stone for me because I was a little bit self-conscious. I never felt really confident in myself in the things that I did. What the fuck? Is somebody home? Bruh. So I had to cut it again because, you know, I had to do something, but I brought my dog with me. Yo, you're so cute. I love you. I love you so much. I would literally die for you. I would die for you. Okay, he's over it. I'm gonna put you down because I can tell you're kind of annoyed. You smell, man. My social skills have improved so much because of working through Starbucks, and I met so many people. I think like just the fact that I started when I was 18 and I left when I was almost 22, but I was still at the 21-year-old mark. I obviously grew a lot as a person, but the job that I had, like working there, just really opened a lot of doors for me mentally, spiritually, just everything. I realized a lot of things about myself that I didn't realize before I started working there, and it was just really impactful for me. And I think I really needed that. And so it's a very good stepping stone, but for you to advance like long term, I don't really recommend working at Starbucks as like obviously a career path unless you want to be a store manager. But it's really hard depending on who's your manager at the store that you're at. It's not that easy to get promoted. There's a lot of favoritism that happens. There is a lot of just kind of like negative energy. So I feel bad for saying this, but it is the truth and it is what you guys should expect. And keep in mind, it may be different towards other people, and what I'm saying could be completely biased just because of what I've went through in my own experience, but there is a lot of favoritism that occurs. If there's something private that you want to keep to yourself, don't share it with your colleagues. That's one thing that I've learned, just because there was a lot of times where I would say stuff and it would get twisted, or things about me that weren't even true were being said just because of little things that were mentioned. So it'd be like that a lot. I just want you guys to be prepared. I don't know what it's like in other stores or in other environments, but that's just what I went through. And another thing to expect is that, you know, just be able to be flexible and just be able to kind of be able to be quick on your feet. Now, the thing is that a lot of times you're going to be put in situations, especially working at Starbucks, where things fall apart and things will get bad. You got to be able to improvise, and you got to be able to be quick and sharp and have a response ready for any type of situation. I feel like a lot of things that I'm saying is very like life skills, but obviously you can sense that working there, it's really good for a stepping stone. Like if you want to develop a lot as a person and you want to be able to kind of give yourself life skills, and I don't know, I just really think it's an amazing job if you want something that's going to challenge you. But if you're someone that likes things to be very laid back, if you like not having to deal with high pressure situations, if you like to kind of be able to do your own thing, maybe it's not something for you. You're going to be tested a lot, and you're not going to have a lot of creativity or freedom. That was one of the downsides for me. I'm a very creative person. So when I felt super restricted on every single aspect, it was just getting to the point where it's like, I don't really like being here anymore. I love making coffee. I realize it's a job, and I realize that things aren't always going to be like to my standard, but I would also like to be able to be myself, and I would like to at least, you know, be able to have a little bit of fun. But make so many connections, and like that's the best part of this job. It's like you literally will make connections with people that you would have never thought you made connections with. I have made so many little conversations with customers that I didn't think I was ever going to talk to, but I did. And it's just one of those things that it's like it makes the job meaningful. Like you're going to encounter a lot of like meaningful moments, and that's what like made me stay more than anything. It was just the fact that I was able to cheer up somebody like if they were having a bad day. There were so many times where I was working in the drive-thru, and they would always put me in the drive-thru because I'm very like peppy and happy and I don't know, I'm a very nice and outgoing person, so they would always put me on the window. And basically, I, not even kidding, like there has been multiple times where there has been a customer that will drive through and they're going through a breakup, or like I've literally seen them crying. And I'd be like, hey, like, is it all good in the hood, my dude? Like, are you chill? Like, what's going on? A lot of times they'd be going through it. So I would just kind of go out of my way and give them like a free pastry, or like I'd make their drink free. Like, that's just something that I would do. And then, of course, like the way that things have been lately with everything in the world, everything's gotten a lot stricter. So I don't really know if things are even that easy to do, like because I used to just do that stuff from the bottom of my heart and out of being nice, but nowadays I feel like if you were to try to even do that, you could get in trouble for giving away free product. But I don't really know what's the procedures now in Starbucks because I haven't been there for like almost a year now, but you're gonna have to clean so much, especially if you're the night shifts. So it's not fun having to clean the drains and having to get to the nitty-gritty stuff. So I swear, if you're a germaphobe, obviously this isn't the job for you. You are gonna have to encounter so many nasty things while working there. Like, I'm talking, we used to spill milks on the floor. There used to be dried up fruit in the cracks of the store that we didn't even know existed. There used to be bugs and lizards and fireflies, not fireflies, girl, but dragonflies, that's what I meant. And you're just gonna have to get down on your hands and knees and really scrub. And I'm like not even kidding, like there was so many times where we literally have to get down on our knees and like clean, because that was just like the part of the job. Not the funnest part, obviously, but it is one of the things that you would have to do. You're always gonna be literally pressured. I just remembered, like, especially with the deliveries, oh my god. So the delivery guys would always make my life a living hell, because I just remembered there was this one time that I was closing and I was in charge of doing the dishes before we like went home from the night. I was doing all the dishes, and then I shit you not, my dude, this fucking delivery guy, because we have one of those swinging doors where it was literally just like a little circle where you could see like from the front to the back of the room. And other than that, you would have literally not been able to see anything else. So that door, I'm not even kidding you. Like, the dishwasher was right here, the door was right here. So I literally was getting the rack and I was trying to like get everything out from the dishes to the floor. And then this delivery guy, dead ass, just smacked me so hard with the door that I literally was like, is this it? Is this the end? So that sucked. Yeah, so trying to clean when the delivery guys would come in was not a fun part of the job. Like, keep in mind, this is all from my experience of being always working at night. It could be completely different from working in the morning. I wouldn't know, because the few times that I did work in the morning, they were just different every time. So I really couldn't tell you on that part, but I just know that closing at Starbucks is really rough. You have a lot of things to do and not a lot of time. And I hated when the delivery guys come in, because they would take up so much space in the back room, they'd get in the way. It was like I needed to get things, and then they were still like, they were there with their big carts with the gallons of milk, just like making my life 10 times harder, when all I wanted was some strawberries, but I couldn't get the strawberries. So I don't think it's a hard, okay, let me rephrase that. It is a hard job. It is probably one of the hardest jobs that I've ever had, and that speaks volumes. Would I recommend y'all to get that job? I don't want to say no, but I don't want to say yes. It could be different for every person, but obviously I left for said reasons, and I'm obviously going to have a different mindset on some things than other people because I did quit. But it's a very hard, labored job. It's not a walk in the park. You're going to be tested on so many different topics and situations. You're going to feel like giving up because it's just such a high demand job. People are going to want things from you that you don't even know what to say to. Like, you're just trying to live your life, and these people are like questioning you on things that you don't even know the answer to. And then it's like, if you don't have that answer to give, then you're automatically a horrible person. And I've been put in those situations so many times with customers, or even just the people that I work with. It's like, I'm just trying to do my job, and it just feels like there's other things that are getting in the way of that. The pay isn't the worst thing in the world, but it definitely isn't the best. I just remembered that when I was working at Starbucks, I literally made $9 an hour flat. And working there for 3 years, my pay raise only went up so much. It literally increased by a few cents every year. And I kind of quit only making $9.89 an hour. And I've been there for 3 years, and that's literally like, what the hell? You've been there for 3 years and you barely made $10 an hour. Yeah, ridiculous, right? Obviously, like, they made the pay raise different now, but in my personal opinion, I believe that Starbucks workers should be paid way more than what is being paid right now, because the hard labor that is given to you during that time period of work is not like, it's not a walk in the park. It's very, very grueling. It tests you. There's so many days where I just remembered, like, I didn't even know if it was worth it anymore, because it was just that rough. But the people I worked with were the only reason that I continued to stay. Like, it was just such a comfy environment for me. And the people I worked with made it so much, it made it so enjoyable and worth it. So I didn't even mind, you know. It was just a temporary thing that I did because I was going to school and I needed a job, and I was comfortable and happy with where I was at the time. So it only made sense to stay, but I definitely could have found a different job and made a lot more money out of it. If I didn't already, here's some footages of that I collected so I could put throughout this video. It's literally like so ridiculous. So I literally cried so much when I quit, because it was literally like I had made so many friends and people. That was like I get attached to people a lot and to things and situations, and then when I feel like I have to leave those things that I've known for so long and like really start from scratch again, it's terrifying. And I just was like crying like a little baby. So here's some footage of that, because I think that you guys would really enjoy me crying, because it's a wholesome moment, you know, what can I say?
Hi, good morning guys. So today I am going to be making a vlog just because oh, I almost stepped on a dead frog. Oh god. Oh god. Look at that. It was raining really hard the other day when I was coming home from work, and I literally guessed that I fucking just ran over a frog, and you know, now he's dead. I'm sorry. My last day at Starbucks, so I wanted to make a video about that because I've worked there for 3 years, and this store holds a lot of memories to me and a lot of things that I just can't describe in words, but I have a lot of sentiment when it comes to the place that I work at, and I figured that it would just be a good idea to make a video about me and my last day and the way that I feel about things. I'm gonna go ahead and get an acai bowl from this shop, and I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys later. I know I look ugly in my attire, but this is my work attire. I don't even know if I'll put this part of the video up because I feel so stupid for like crying on camera. But I literally, like, everything just started to like hit me at once. And today is like the last day of me working at Starbucks, and it's just really hard for me because I've been working at the store for like 3 years, and I've had so many memories at the store. I remembered that I had my lowest lows and my highest highs at the store, and like at just Starbucks in general. And it's really hard for me to wrap my head around the fact that today's like my very last day. Like, part of me feels like, with the way that I've been feeling and the way that everything has been going, that I'm making the right choice for myself. For so long at the store, I had like my group of people, and I would work with them every single night for 3 years. And I just remember, like, I would be going through a lot of times in my life where everything just felt like it was going wrong, and I just felt like at Starbucks I could go and there was people that wanted to know like how I was doing, and I didn't have that at any other job before. I just felt like the people that I worked with at my other jobs were very just business oriented and focused, and they didn't care about you or your feelings or how you felt about things in your life. And this job, I actually felt like people cared. Like, this is the first job that I've ever had where I felt like everybody that I was close with was like my family. It's hard.
if I didn't embarrass myself enough, that definitely was embarrassing. But yeah, I was just going through a lot. I'm like, I don't know, like I'm struggling to find the right words to like say things in this video. I'm noticing that I'm kind of like being awkward about certain things, but it's just because I don't want to project working there as a negative place, but it's just I've dealt with a lot, you know, I've dealt with a lot of hard things that I had to like get through while working there, and I just don't want to shed a bad light on the workplace in general. But that's more or less of what I have to say when it comes to what to expect while working at Starbucks. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Just try your best to be the best person that you can be. Don't let anybody step on you, especially, you know, even if they're like the boss of you. Like, there's standards and there's respect. And I literally just have to say that I wish that I would have done this when I was working there, but I definitely let a lot of people control me and control who I was and who like Karina was, and that's not okay. And I just want you guys to know that if you do decide to work at Starbucks, make sure you always stay true to yourself. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do things. Like, for example, if you can't be yourself, you know, like, I understand you have to be professional and you have to also like respect the company policies of whatnot, but if people are downright disrespecting you or making you feel a type of way about things, then don't tolerate it, especially if they're your managers. I'm saying this from my own experience and from other people that I know's experience. There has been so much downplay from managers. There has been so much negative energy, so much just favoritism, so much that was wrong. And if you even slightly feel disrespected or less than what you are, then I consider you not dealing with it at all. No matter if it's this job or any other job, you guys don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. Kind of wanted to put my input out there of what I felt about it and my experience working there. And what for you to expect. But I hope you guys have an amazing day, an amazing night, and everything in between. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. I love you. Oh, by the way, I can't believe I forgot to mention this, but I have a SoundCloud. I make music. I am a music maker. Okay, so I make music. You guys should check. You guys should just. I can't talk. My God. I make music, so you guys should definitely check it out. My SoundCloud will be in my link in the description box. That make no sense. What the hell, Karina? My SoundCloud link will be in my description box below. I hope you guys check out my stuff. It would mean the entire world to me if you guys did that. All right, well, I love you guys. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.